Hey everyone, Travis here from Travis.media. So there seems to be a growing amount of criticism toward YouTubers who have previously been developers but decided to step out full-time on YouTube. And it's even to the point where a number of these YouTubers are apologizing for doing it, as if they're no longer qualified to teach programming because they no longer do it full-time. So in this video, I want to share some opinions that I have on this matter, given that I'm now also doing this full-time, and why I don't think these YouTubers should be apologizing or feeling in some way guilty for doing it. If you feel like they shouldn't be doing it, like they're not real developers or they're not qualified to teach it, or you find some certain issues with whatever they're doing, then watch this video first and then leave your comment below so that we can have a discussion about it. I'd love to hear your opinion. Let's get started. So number one, many of us aren't 25 anymore. How long can a person sustain 2 full-time jobs in the long term? We got married, we had kids, and then we found out that there's more to life than coding 24/7. If I need to keep a full-time coding job just to give credibility to my full-time YouTube profession, at the sake of neglecting the short time that I have with my children while they're still children, and enjoying time with my wife and my friends, my health and well-being, then count me out. If you're single with a dog and a Netflix subscription, then feel free. Have at it. But you really should move on from that at some point soon. And in doing this, we didn't magically forget all of our programming when we stepped out on YouTube full time. And our coding license doesn't expire after 2 years of not fixing bugs professionally. We still have the skills. And this leads to my second point. And it's that you do also need to keep learning and working on the craft. Now, this is a real thing. It is possible to go full time on YouTube to never code again outside of your YouTube content. Basically, you're just coding only to produce more content for your YouTube videos. And over time, 1, 2, 3 years, you'll get sloppy and outdated and may even find yourself not enjoying it anymore. And maybe that's the way life takes you. Perhaps you're destined to move to something different and your channel takes a new turn and you leave coding. It happens to people all over the world as they get older. But if you continue to enjoy it and making content about it, then definitely do your part in keeping up with the craft. In fact, you need to find a way to force yourself to do so. This is one of a number of reasons why I created the Imposter Devs community. Currently, as we're getting other people lined up to speak, I'm actually giving 2 live sessions a week. This week, it's another data structures and algorithm lesson on Tuesday, and then working through another chapter in the Rust book on Thursday. And also, I built the web app for it, so I get to maintain that as well. And this forces me to keep up with the craft if for some reason I started taking too much time off from programming. So make it your aim to learn something new each week or to get better at some programming concept that you already know. Go create a hobby project and build on it regularly. Dive deeper into algorithms or math, computers, or the cloud, or whatever keeps you sharp and fresh. In fact, all people who call themselves developers should be doing this anyway. And one of the best places to do this is on Skillshare, who is the sponsor of today's video. I'm sure you've heard of Skillshare before. They're the largest online learning community with thousands of classes led by industry pros, teaching programming, productivity, freelancing, graphic design, music, and more. This year, one of my main themes has been productivity. And there's no one better to learn from than Ali Abdaal himself. And I'm currently working through this learning path, which is 4 of his classes curated by Skillshare to refine my process this year. And I'm currently in the middle of this Notion masterclass where he shows you how to build a Life OS dashboard in Notion to better organize your life as a whole, which as a programmer and creator, I need more than ever. But here's another good learning path for those picking up Python called Python for Beginners. Learn the fundamentals of computer science, where you can learn Python, object-oriented Python, data structures, AI, and finally some data science. If you want to learn it, they have it. And the best part is, it's completely free for you for 1 month. The first 500 people to use my link down in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Binge on all the content you want for 1 month for free. Be sure to check that out, and thank you Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Number 3, have you ever thought that many of us don't really want to code full-time forever? And perhaps as we get older, it's natural for us to move into new positions like management, consulting, or new business opportunities like running an educational YouTube channel. It's strange that it's only a scam if that business is a YouTube channel, as if that's not a job in itself. Any honest work, whether it's YouTubing or flipping burgers or building houses, whatever, is a noble thing. It's hard work, and there's bills to pay. And as we get older, maybe we want to code more part-time so that we can hone in on our camera skills, or are marketing or something else, or moving from a developer to a project manager, or from a developer to a solutions engineer that's in the sales and marketing department, or again to a YouTube channel that's also a full-time business. And this leads us to number 4, which is keep selling and promoting your courses. One of the biggest criticisms out there of tech YouTubers is that they're always trying to sell us something. Well, aren't they also running a business? Are they strangely supposed to work for free? In fact, this YouTube comment is my case in point. It says, "This guy's just selling his Udemy affiliate links courses." So this is a video I did like a year ago where I list 10 types of Udemy courses that every developer should own. That's the goal of the video. If you're a developer, you should own these 10 courses over your career, or these 10 types of courses. And while I'm creating this and I'm trying to share this information with other developers, why would I not use affiliate links? Who out there doesn't also look to capitalize on things you've created, things that you've put time into? There's this crazy worldview in tech, especially with people trying to learn to code, that everything should be free. Free code camp is free. I'm not gonna pay for your stuff. That's fine, but I got bills to pay. And I put some hard work into this thing, and I, just like 99.9% of people out there, don't work for free. And people work harder at things they pay for. Maybe the problem is from all those people who used to sell something and they'd leave the option below, like, hey, I've left an affiliate link below if you want to help support the channel, but if not, I've also put a regular link there that you can use as well. Never made any sense to me. Like, what person, after receiving value from a YouTube video, would go out of their way then to avoid the link that would give the creator a little nugget back of the purchase? Like, thanks for all the info, but I'm not going to give you back a thing. Even though on your end, it's all the same thing. You just end up with the product. So I have one video, actually it's the video that I was just talking about, that has over 800,000 views. And over the past year that video has been published, YouTube has paid me $3,000 for it. That's like a 2-week paycheck for many of you. But for me, that's over a year. No one can live off YouTube's ad revenue alone. A lot of these guys and girls out there weekly are coming up with new content and filming and editing and researching, all for YouTube to pay them a couple $100s for the video. Thus, they have to market to their audience in some way to bring in enough money for a decent salary. And in general, that's no different from every other person in business. The problem, of course, is when the stuff they're selling sucks. And in business, this is always the job of the customer to decide that. But if it's good quality and you put some good effort into it, then market that thing. And probably 8 times out of 10, it's that one skill that you're really good at and you're really passionate about, and you simply just want people to benefit from it. And it helps you pay the bills. Also, don't get mad at video sponsorships. It's like 60 seconds, and you can easily skip over it if the creator put timestamps down in the description. Or just pick 60 seconds and click ahead. I know that you slapped your head when I mentioned that Skillshare spot earlier, as I shilled you another ad, but that's how we continue to generate revenue to continue putting out regular content. TV does it, Prime Video does it, podcasts do it, your grocery store does it, your dentist office does it, and we do it. And if it's a good channel, we only do it when we really believe in the product. And number 5 is, listen to this. And this is something I've always said, something I've said from the beginning. Seasoned developers don't YouTube. Probably 90% of the best developers that I've ever worked with in my life have no interest in teaching it. They are really good, they give 100% effort at their work, and then they enjoy their life outside of work. They have no interest in teaching others the skills that they have bottled up in their heads, and that's okay. But when these other guys offer to do it instead, on a weekly basis, it's commendable. They may not be the best out there, in fact, they're not, but they're creating valuable content that millions of people are learning from. You don't have to be the best to start a YouTube channel. I actually started mine 7 years ago because I was so thankful to have broken into the industry without a traditional degree, by way of online tutorials and YouTube videos, so much so that I just wanted to share everything that I had learned along the way, or was learning along the way. That's all. No ill motives, no shilling, and no thought that this could actually ever go full time. So if these super amazing developers are not doing it, someone has to pick up the slack and do it instead. Number 6 is clickbait. You almost always have to give a little bit of clickbait to succeed on YouTube. The real question is, does your video deliver on that clickbait? Or is there a wide gap in what you're promising and what you're actually delivering? But title and thumbnails are often key indicators of whether your video will be successful or not. And then finally, number 7, the learn to code in 3 months narrative. This is mostly wrong. However, 5 years ago, that may have been the case. More like 6 to 9 months. But it was definitely true. It was true for me and hundreds of other people, if not thousands. was. But now it's a much different economy, and we shouldn't be saying that anymore. Also, we shouldn't be acting like it's that easy or that we don't need to learn hard things to get into the industry. That being said though, I think it's the job of the viewer to see that the video was indeed 5 years ago, and perhaps that prediction has changed. 4 years ago, I was saying that you could land a job in 6 months because it was true. Then, there was a huge demand for developers then. And it still could be true for some now, but definitely not near as normative. So me, for example, I've shifted, while this economy is bad, into trying to teach fundamental programming concepts that live under the hood of many languages that abstract them away. So what are your thoughts on coding YouTubers? What are we doing wrong? I'd love to hear your thoughts below. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, consider doing so, and I'll see you in the next video.